How's it going? Caitlin here, and welcome to my kitchen. It's prep day, which is always exciting. This really is a love yourself later kind of process when you're doing food prep, because you are going to be so thankful that you did this. You can do as little or as much food prep as you want, because even little bits now, stepped on an inky jar there, even little bits now will make a huge difference later. So I am going to be prepping a few things. I'm actually prepping my meat sauce right now. This week we're having slow cooker lasagna, which you can have that all prepped and ready to go and then just put it in your slow cooker in the morning. So that is my plan. So if you're there with me, then you might want to put your meat on the stovetop too. We're having chicken Caesar wraps, which are just always delicious. Tuscan Bean Soup, ginger beef stir fry, and chicken fingers. So lots of fun things on the go this week. Be excited for those chicken fingers. They're so easy. You're gonna be like, why did I ever buy chicken fingers before in my life? Okay, before I get ahead of myself, let's start with some stuff, shall we? So I've just got that heating up. I'm actually doubling my slow cooker lasagna, and for a couple of reasons. We're gonna chop 3 onions, by the way, so I just grabbed one to start. I'm dairy free, so mine is actually going to be a very, very, very small pressure cooker lasagna that is being done at the same time as my family's slow cooker lasagna. So I do mine with a nut cheese, but the rest of my family are all cheese eaters, and I know the majority of the world is too. So, but know that there are workarounds to this. So I am doing 1.5 times for the slow cooker lasagna, because we're feeding some company with it as well. So it's pretty easy to change these up to modify whatever your individual needs will be, family. I like to kind of look through my list, and it's all set for portion times 1, I guess, which would be a family of 4. If you look at that grocery list and you flip ahead to the groceries and you're like, okay, I'm gonna double this recipe, or I'm gonna half this recipe, then you can just adjust the grocery list a little bit, but you still have your base there. Picking up what I'm putting down? No, disregard. So we are chopping 3 onions, but one of these is going to be going in the meat sauce for the slow cooker lasagna. So one of these I'm going to have ready, and then I'm just going to, dump her on in there. Ooh, that almost was bad. Don't worry, I'm willing to test the safety features on everything for you. And that is one thing that I try to bring to this meal plan is I'm not very skilled in the kitchen. I don't have a lot of patience. I don't have a lot of, I don't want to say I don't have a lot of love for it, because I love eating, but as far as really spending time to put something together, that's not my thing. I'd rather spend time doing other things. Kitchen is not where I find my joy, but it is where I find my food. So I'm just gonna break up this ground beef a little bit. And then I'm actually just gonna throw this onion right in there. If you are a purist, you may want to cook your ground beef a little longer before you throw your onion in. I figure it'll be fine. So these other couple onions are being chopped up for recipes for later in the week, so I'm going to be saving these ones. And you'll see the slow cooker lasagna actually doesn't have to cook in the slow cooker for that long. So if you wanted to do pressure cooker instead, I don't think it would be a very hard adjustment. Cards on the table, I'm experimenting with mine, but I'm gonna put mine in for, I think probably 15 minutes, maybe 20, and see how that goes. I'll get back to you. If you're curious, message me. Woo, the onions are getting me. But if your slow cooker has a keep warm function, it really doesn't matter how long it sits there. It's just gonna be, it's gonna be fine. There's gonna be nothing wrong with it. And if you can't find gluten-free lasagna noodles, lay down a layer of linguine. Who cares? It'll be fine. Some kind of pasta in there, you're gonna be laughing. Sometimes I go looking for like gluten-free lasagna noodles and it's like, why are these so hard to find? Like gluten-free people love lasagna as much as the next person. Person that uses onions quite a bit, you can always chop up another one now. I know we like having them chopped for making snack, making some nachos, or if we are doing scrambled eggs or something like that, want to throw some of that in there. But I mean, do what suits your guys' taste, but right now, chopping all of these right now is saving me dishes throughout the week, which I find quite magical. That's actually what's really got me hooked on meal prep, is just having less dishes. Because if you think about it, 3 different dishes that I would be chopping onions for, chop them all now. That means that's 2 meals where I don't have to do the dishes for it. That's pretty cool. Okay, I'm gonna stick to doing, actually I'm gonna do the cheese, because we're gonna need the cheese for the lasagna as well. I'm gonna put a prep mat down on top of my prep board. Since I don't do dairy, then the dairy is gonna get on this and then that'll be fine. Here we go. So my collector container goes up to 2 cups. I'm going to be shredding 2 cups of mozzarella. I have pizza mozzarella here. That's not for any specific reason, it's just because honestly, I don't know much about cheese. So I'm like, well, if it's a pizza mozzarella, it's not the same thing as just regular mozzarella. Maybe, maybe not. I think my family will eat it. No, this one, if you are just lactose free and not dairy free, then that's pretty common as well. This Saputo, the lactose free, is really, really, really good. It's actually a really, really nice brand. We used to buy the pre-shredded pizza cheese, lactose free, because it was easy, but you know, it was also kind of gross. And then this one, just as soon as you try it, you won't go back to the other stuff. So Saputo, lactose free. If I'm saying it wrong, oops. I can hear the meat starting to sizzle a little bit. It's nice because like we're already spending the time in the kitchen. Meat sauce isn't something that takes an awful lot of babysitting. So for me, it just makes sense to do the prep for that right now while we're in the kitchen, doing other things. Don't have to be, you know, looking at it or caring for it the whole time. Okay, so we have a bit of a cheese combo that's gonna be going into the slow cooker lasagna. So kind of getting that combo ready as we're going to. And now we're going a little freaky with my prep this time, but it's like prep on top of prep. It's multi-layered. And what I understand from cheese people is you measure cheese with your heart. That's what we're doing right now. This thing will measure 2 cups, so it's probably about 2 cups now, but I'm just gonna throw just a tad bit more in there. And I'm just gonna put a divider in my prep dish here, because I am going to reserve half a cup of my 2 cups of cheese. I'm gonna store that. And then the rest of it, I'm gonna put in this bowl. And that's gonna be my cheese mixture for the lasagna. So as I'm prepping all this stuff, I'm just gonna have that cheese mixture kind of in the back of my mind. Next, I'm gonna grate some Parmesan cheese. Parmesan cheese is gonna be used in a couple of our recipes this week, so we're gonna do about 2/3 of a cup with it. However, if you know your family is heavier or lighter on the Parmesan cheese, you can measure that with your heart. I'm going to be using this for the chicken Caesar wraps as well as for the lasagna. About 1/3 cup for each, more or less depending on your tastes. We are going to be using Parmesan cheese in the Tuscan soup as well, but the Tuscan soup actually uses the rind of it as well. So if you get Parmesan cheese like this and you ever are that person that discards the rind, it might be worth it just to put it in the freezer. You can save it for if you're doing soups or anything like that, because you can add right to it. What? Okay, so about half a cup down there, so I'm gonna save about 1/3 of a cup for Caesar. I'm gonna dump the rest in there for the cheese mixture, for the lasagna. If you don't have a meat chopper, like kind of like a little star at the end of it, it's like working with 5 spatulas at once to cut up your meat. So it can do a pretty fine job in less time. Now, depending on your meat, you might have to drain your beef. You may not have to drain your beef. Ours comes from a local butcher. It's very lean, and we really don't need to drain it much. Okay, so there's my cheese that I'll be needing for this week. Kabam, kabam, kabam. There we go. Prep done. Well, I mean, that part's like going and doing its thing there too. But I'm gonna move on to next level prep, and that's gonna get us into more veggies. This is gonna get us ready for our soup this week. Okay. Okay, so I've got 3 carrots. I'm gonna be chopping these up. Well, I'm gonna be peeling first because, like, I peel my carrots. I don't even know how necessary it is to peel your carrots, but I do it. I often wonder that with veggies. I'm like, well, do they all need to be peeled? Like, I grew up with peeled potatoes and then didn't peel potatoes, and then I heard that with potatoes, actually, the most nutritious part of it is just under the skin. So by not peeling your potato, you're actually getting more of the nutrients. I thought, well, that's interesting, and I I've never really looked it up, but I wonder how true that stands for some other root vegetables. Like, am I stripping this thing of nutrients right now? Does that heal? I don't know. If you know, let me know, because then we'll both know. So I'd like to say I'd remember and Google it after this, but I'm just not going to count on my memory to remember that much. Okay, cool. Here's my carrots all chopped. So when I'm doing this, I keep one little bin on my prep board just for scraps. And then I keep the other one for the good stuff that I'm keeping. That way I will not get confused with the two. And believe it or not, this actually helps to keep my countertop a lot cleaner, having this prep board. It's like having a cutting board with pockets. And pockets to a cutting board are the same thing that pockets are to leggings. And that means they're nothing until you know better. And once you know better, look out. Especially when you're prepping for like a few days like this and really getting some stuff done. If I'm just chopping an onion and I'm not doing anything else, I'm probably not taking out this cutting board. I'm not gonna lie. But when I'm prepping, this thing is money. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna give this another quick stir. Now I'm just going to chop the carrots. Now the carrots and celery, since they're both going in the soup together, I'm just going to store them in the same container, but these ones I am going to add some water with. And that keeps both of these from drying out. Doesn't work for all veggies, but some veggies really like to be stored in water, and these ones definitely do. So it's going to keep them just as fresh all week long. Actually, a nice thing if you are somebody who will snack on vegetables if they're already prepped, just to prep some carrot sticks and celery sticks beforehand and put them in a container with water. Then if you have, say, a dip or ranch dressing or something like that, you can just pop them out of the water and enjoy them throughout the week, because they will stay good for a very long time. They're not going to get rubbery and weird as long as you keep them in water. And I don't know about you, but if stuff is prepped ahead of time, I'm way more likely to have the healthy snacks. There we go. So I've got those veggies all prepped for the soup, and I will put some water in that before I put it in the fridge. I'll just make sure that they're covered so that everything's good. I'm gonna add the rest of the stuff in with the meat sauce here. So pretty easy. It's there's some tomato sauce, 2 regular size cans. If you get bigger cans of it, you can, play with that, do as you will. But since I'm 1.5 in it, I'm using 3. Ignore what I'm doing. Unless you're 1.5 in it too, and then look at us go. Also, I'm going to put in some brown sugar and some Italian seasoning. And I'm going to put in a full can of tomato paste as well. Tomato paste, of course, it is a little thicker, so it's really going to like amp up the flavor of the tomato in there. So I'm just mixing this up. It really is not going to have to sit there for long because it's all going to be cooked. So I just have to mix it. There we go. So that's prepped and that's ready to go. Okay, so what else do I have? Oh yeah, for the chicken Caesar wraps, I'm also just gonna cut up the romaine lettuce for the week. I have it cleaned, I'm gonna cut it now, and I don't have to chop it later. This will also make it available if, say with your lasagna tomorrow, if you wanted to have a little green salad with it or something like that, you have that available to you because you've already done it. And that's just always a nice feeling. I like having lettuce ready because then I can use it on sandwiches. Like, it's one of those things too, like after you've cleaned it, after you've cut it, you only really want to do that one time, right? You don't want to do that a lot more. So save yourself the time, do it once, chop up the thing. It doesn't have to be perfect. Go. There's one down. And I did clean this lettuce beforehand. I like to clean all my stuff as soon as I bring it home. Just because it saves me that little bit of time later. Once again, it's one of those things like love yourself later. That's what I do with my produce. When I bring it home, I clean it, then it's ready. Then it's quick snacks for the kids, quick snacks for me. Grab little bites here and there, because who doesn't like grazing? If they have the opportunity to graze, and if you have all your stuff like ready and clean, then you can just embrace the grazing part of you. Okay, so that is done. And if you want to, because this is one thing I'm going to do right now, is I'm gonna finish my little cheese mixture that I have since it's most of the way ready anyway. And I'm just gonna add the half container of ricotta to it so that that's out of the way. So whether I assemble my slow cooker lasagna tonight, or whether I assemble it in the morning, it's really just gonna be throwing on sauce, throwing down noodles, throwing down cheese mixture, and keeping on doing that until I run out of stuff, right? So it's gonna keep that very, very, very easy for me. And that's the goal, that is the goal. Setting aside this 20 minutes on your prep day, just so that for the rest of the week, you can be like, well, dang, that was easy, because I guarantee you, that doing this will save you more than 20 minutes in the week. I don't know how the math makes sense, but it does. The math definitely makes sense somehow. Okay? And then most of these dishes are just gonna go right in the dishwasher. Once again, easy peasy. There we go. Now, if you're feeling super motivated, you can look through the rest of the stuff and see if there's anything else that you would like to do. If you wanted to prep your croutons now, you could prep croutons now, unless you're buying them, then, you know, that's even quicker. But yeah, we're done. We're ready for the week. And it's a delicious menu. I hope you really enjoy it. And I would love to hear what you think. We will chat soon. And I will be here to prep with you next week. Bye-bye.